It felt like I had been hit in the stomach, but I didn't hurt for a second. It just felt like I could feel it spinning, and I could feel my whole body just felt a lot of pressure on me, like I was knocked out, the wind was knocked out of me or something. And then we started to spin slower, and then the car stopped, and then I felt everything at once. I felt everything that had just broken. So many things were broken, and I could feel my body breaking, and I couldn't breathe. I could taste blood in my mouth and in my nose.
She was unrecognizable. Her face was all swollen and full of cuts from the broken glass. Her face looked like hamburger. And, she had all these tubes, the oxygen mask and stuff. She would either be asleep from the morphine, or she would be screaming in pain.
Some days it's like really bad. She can't even get out of bed. She needs help sometimes, bending and to put her shoes on her socks. So I help her. Just putting things you don't really think about, you just do. It's hard for her, We have steps in front of the house, 3 of them, and she has to grab onto the tree that's right next to it to try to get up.
The easiest way to understand Sarah's injuries and how she received them is think of how she would be sitting in a car with her hip flexed like that, and this side of her body against the right-hand side of the car. The other car strikes this side, intrudes over 12 inches into the car. What got hit is this part here, shoulder blade, ribs, middle of the humerus bone right here, and then also this pelvis and this hip right here. The detailed surgical treatment of her orthopedic injuries really started initially with the fractured humerus, the upper arm bone. She fractured it pretty much right in the middle, and you can see it's right here next to all these ribs that were fractured and only a few inches away from her scapula that was fractured. The fracture was right here in the middle of the bone. She required a long plate placed right here that spanned the fracture with 3 screws above, 3 screws below, stabilizing that fracture.
She also suffers from a post-traumatic stress disorder. The accident fully meets that. It was unexpected. There was nothing she could do. She felt totally helpless. She was not clear about what was going on. She didn't even remember, as you know, the second impact. She was torn by worry about herself, worry about her children. It could have been life-threatening. She has the reliving. She has it through nightmares. She has it through the intrusive thoughts. She has the emotional anesthesia, the heightened irritability. I mean, it's textbook.
Pero usted antes del accidente había visto un jet bridge que se movía hacia atrás.
Sí.
¿Y usted vio en algún momento alguna persona en el piso de la seguridad que le ayudaba al operador del jet bridge a moverlo?
No.